Hello guys, we're about to start. This is so exciting, so epic. What we're listening right now is Fran Bow's soundtrack. Not sure how many people is gonna be around here for now, but this is gonna be epic. Epic. Just epic. We're still going with the soundtrack, it's amazing. You can actually, guys, get it on Steam, where the game is. You can buy the soundtrack. That's pretty cool. Just some things here in the camera. We're almost ready. I even made a notebook with everything noted of what I'm going to talk about. I'm so nervous. Let's run out some tests here. 10 minutes, guys. 10 minutes for the most epic moment of my life, on our lives. I don't know. I feel so excited. Maybe it's true, maybe not, but at least I feel so excited for what I found. And I've been trying, like, to tell everyone just as fast as I found out, but I really wanted to be patient and tell you guys about this. Just gonna move this to a different soundtrack. Okay, that's one. Okay. We're still here. We're still here. We're still here. Hey, sweetie. Okay, we're live. We're going. This is actually the soundtrack. Just checking out some stuff here. Some final details. And we have still 6 minutes. Before we start, I want to make a big shout out to Pingigi from DeviantArt, where you can actually see the image that you had on the screen at the beginning from Fran Bow and Remore. And it's an amazing artist that you can find on DeviantArt. Thank you very much for that beautiful drawing. And also has a lot of more drawings, actually has from Tokyo Ghoul and different animes, all fan art made. Follow him or her. The name is Pingigi. I'm gonna put it back later on the description. Big shout out to this amazing artist. Also a big shout out to some friends. Nobunaga Oda, which is a friend of mine, has a channel, YouTube channel for gameplays. And big shout out to General Crisis with amazing Earthstone gameplays too. Maddox Gaming, another friend of mine. They all have gameplays of different games, Heroes and Generals and stuff like that. So check their channels, they're pretty amazing people. So, guys, welcome to Baltasar Gaming Show Live. It's the first live stream of the year. Happy 2016. I hope you all guys had amazing holidays and you had a lot of fun with your family and friends and your loved ones. I personally had a lot of fun with my wife, my in-laws, with my parents and my grandparents. I love them all so much. And here we are on Sunday at almost 9 p.m. Central Time. And I'm so excited because I found out a lot of stuff on Fran Bow's game. Not only the main game, the main story, but there's also a different side, a different story of Fran Bow, which we're going to talk about, and that's the big reveal I have to make. But in order to do that, let's first talk about the main game. Fran Bow is a point-and-click game that you can find on Steam. Made by Natalia Figueroa, and the music, of course, is from her husband Isaac. I'm sorry of the last name, I don't remember. And it's a pretty amazing game where you have this girl who has a lot of issues since her parents were brutally murdered, and you start the game on a psychiatrist or asylum. Oswald Asylum, and basically what you have to do is find your cat, which is a black cat that you receive right in the beginning of the game. You see it in the story, and you also have to go through several puzzles in order to move through. It's pretty amazing. I recommend you guys to play it if you haven't. So take in mind that there are going to be a lot of spoilers here, and I mean a lot of spoilers. So this is a theory I managed to get to thanks to friends, Sebastian and Christian. Amazing friends I have. My own wife, Lucy, she's actually in the stream. Hey, baby. And even family, I started talking about this game, trying to figure out what was going on the game. So, nothing else to say. Let's go to the main story of Fran Bow. So, basically, what everyone talks about is this real? Is Fran dead? Is she alive? The end of the game is very confusing, and there's a lot of stuff that we keep questioning ourselves. So, what I actually found out is that everything is real. All the dimensions, everything that Fran Bow sees is actually real. What we can base on, and this is the first screen that we're gonna see, is basically the picture that you have right now in front of you. This is one of the photos that you will find right at the end of the game. These photos talk about these two nurses that you can see, which are Christine Fontaine. Christine Fontaine actually has Clara and Mia, which are the twins that you will later see on the game, probably about the second chapter of the game. And these twins were experimented on by Dr. Oswald, which is the one in the wheelchair, and Dr. Leon Castillo, which is on the left side of Dr. Oswald. And basically, you can also see a pentagram on the back of the same photo. There's another photo that you can notice a pentagram there. Now, we also have a very iconic character, which is Nurse Gladys Hannah, which is one of the first nurses that you will see in the game. That is actually someone you will interact a little bit more, and while she's there. There's also Grace and Lucia Dagenhart, which are Grace is the aunt of Fran, and Lucia is actually her mother. So you will read something very interesting here that says Center of Brain Research and Pineal Gland Phenomena. In order to understand why everything is real, we need to understand what the pineal gland, sorry, is. And so it is that I have a little article here, but basically the pineal gland is a gland that we have in the brain that is believed that it's the place where our soul is placed. So it's very interesting to actually think that if you stimulate the pineal gland enough, you can actually open what we call or we know as the third eye. Now, the third eye is something that would allow you to see things, hear things, and feel things that normally you don't. And we're talking about different dimensions or astral trips or spiritual meanings to all this. And how do we know that Fran is under the influence of this? And this is the next thing. I'm going to make a reference to my only live stream I have from Fran Bow. And you will be able to see that when you're in the basement, on the first chapter of the game, the basement on the asylum, you find actually some bottles here that has this medicine that they give to Fran Bow as called duotine. Now here's the deal, you use those pills to actually change the dimension you are in. But this document that you can see right now is one of the most important documents you will be able to find and help you out to reveal things about the game. The thing that we can see is that the patient, and there's a how could you explain? There's a file number, is our current target. Target response is positive. Now expanded the triggered gland. We're talking about the pineal gland here. Ectoplasmatin, that's a substance that only exists in the game. I didn't find anything on the internet. Ectoplasmatin dose up to 1700 micrograms. Change the container so it looks like an approved variant of duotine. So basically what we understand is that the container that we have is not duotene, is this experimental medicine that we have. They're talking about a gland, so that's basically the pineal gland. And this is Fran Bow because this file number, 9, let's remember these numbers, 91530s. We can actually find it on her file, which should be here. Let me just check out really quick. No, not here. Oh, hey, here it is. There it is, 91530s. That is Fran Bow, confirmed. Fran Bow is under an experimental medicine that would help her to stimulate her pineal gland, and that way we can explain that everything is real. Everything she sees actually exists. Now, here's another thing, something that we have as a reference on the pine cone over and over again. We have this family of pine cones. We have on the TV an ant, and let me go like really fast over here. Okay, here it is. Here's the pine cone on the game, an ant, of course. That's when you start switching the channels for one of the kids in the hospital in order to solve a puzzle. And there's something very important because you actually find pineal cone people like dwarfs that they actually talk to you and they interact with you on the game. So here's the thing, the pine cone symbol is one of the most mysterious emblems found in ancient and modern art and architecture. Few scholars realize it, but the pine cone alludes to the highest degree of spiritual illumination possible. And we're talking here something about the pineal gland. So it means that this is another thing that remained hidden on the game, and this actually confirms our theory that everything is real. Now, that being said, one of the most iconic things is when we actually find the twins being experimented. We know that the mother is actually this woman here, that is Christine Fantin, and they have a different variety of duotene, which are the yellow pillows, and Dr. Castillo and Dr. Oswald, which we can see right here, Castillo and Oswald. Oswald is the one in the wheelchair. They both experiment on these twins, which are the babies that the nurse are carrying on the left side. So we understand that Clara and Mia were experimented on. They were cut in half and then stitched together to make one body and two heads, and they had a lot of issues with this. Now, there is something very interesting here, is that there's a letter where you can find on the game from Clara and Mia. So let's read it pretty fast. Sister promise. We, Clara and Mia Bohelmet, promise to revenge the unfair destiny Edward decided for us. Edward. We're talking about this skeleton guy that appears in the game that actually helps you out. By the way, this is a live stream from matpat on GT Live. It's one of the most complete live streams I've seen from Fran Bow, and has a lot of order. You actually know where you start and where you end, so I recommend you guys check it out if you have any doubts. And Edward is this character, this skeleton character that basically alludes to someone that starts protecting Fran. Now, why Edward has to pay? And that's something that just came into my mind probably a day ago or so, where we can actually see that Dr. Leon Castillo has a diary, and in this diary he starts explaining a lot of stuff on the dimensions. He talks about the 5 dimensions, he talks about the Mother of Darkness, which is Mabuka, that you will find later on the game, right in the end. He talks about Etheriska, which is one of the dimensions Fran travels. He talks about time being just a matter of perception. And he basically has this diary talking about everything he finds traveling through this dimension. So it means that he had the possibility to see all these creatures, all these monsters, and all the dimensions. Another thing is that Dr. Castillo actually has the diary incomplete. There's a point where you cannot see further enough, and you can totally think on maybe I can find it later, something like that. Unfortunately, no. This diary is incomplete. But right at the end, you can see him as like an elder guy. He knows everything. He already has all this knowledge about the dimensions, how the time flows and works on these dimensions. So there is a possibility that he actually found out to keep alive in the form of Edward. So that way, being Castillo the one who heard Clara and Mia is actually the same guy that Clara and Mia wants to take revenge from. So that's pretty interesting. That let us think that Edward might be Dr. Leon Castillo. Now, something else I wanted to talk about is that there's a pentagram on the picture you just saw, but there's also a pentagram on Dr. Deer's office. So that tells us that this is maybe some sort of cult, and they're trying to appeal to Remor in order to achieve mind control, because that's what Fran eventually happens to. She's controlled by Remor to kill her parents, and this is pretty sad because she eventually finds this. She finds out about this, and she denies it, and Remor is like over there telling her he controlled her, and she's under the influence of this sort of demon called Remor. So that's basically what we can say about the game. Everything we see is real. The first dimension being the regular one, where everyone's alive and everyone is, interacting. The second dimension being the one that it looks like a little bit foggy every time that Remor comes in. It doesn't look gorish, but it looks like everything is foggy. The guard gets decapitated, and that's the dimension where Remor is grabbing Fran over and over again. The third dimension, and I'm putting it in this order because of the time flowing, on the diary of Leon Castillo, there's actually like the sun being the center of all the dimensions. Then there's the first dimension as an orbit, then the second dimension, then the third, and each one of them being bigger. Thinking that the first dimension, or the normal dimension, is the last one because it's the biggest one and time flows slower, being the third is the one when you're on the pills. Why the third? Because everything is dead. The animals you're around are dead. The nurse is dead. It's like if you're ahead of the time. So basically that's what makes me think that might be the third dimension. Then the fourth dimension is where everything is beautiful and colorful, and there are like trees talking to you, and insects, and everything is so happy on that dimension. I put it as the fourth one because that's the way Fran keeps going in a transition, like in the order she goes in the game. I believe that might be the same order she goes on the dimensions. And the fifth dimension is where basically everything exists in a more like hellish way, more twisted. And that's where actually Mother of Darkness, who is the mother of Remor, actually sleeps. And she will be one of the people that one of the characters you're going to have to awake in order to keep moving. And the dead seem to be alive. Some of the nurses, some of the animals. It's weird, a weird trip. but I believe that's the last dimension. For the purposes of the conclusion we're gonna get, because this is not a conclusion at all. So, we needed to understand all of this so I could actually start explaining the hidden messages. It's very important to understand that time is just a matter of perception. That's what Dr. Castillo says. And if we understand this, we know that we can bend the time on the game itself. Here is one thing I really wanted to show you guys, and I'm not sure if this is actually, I don't have it on ready. I forgot, I'm sorry. But there's oh, sorry there, it's Alice and Fran Bow. There you go. That's okay, thank you. Sorry about that. Now you can see a picture eventually in the game that there is Alice from Alice in Wonderland with Fran. Now, take in mind that what I'm going to tell you, some things are canon and some others are not canon, are just references to make you see the real identity of Fran Bow. So, when I saw this picture on matpat's live stream on GT Live, I thought, well, maybe there's something related to Alice in Wonderland, and there might be certain references on what actually happens in the game, that she's tripping, there's like this beautiful world, and there's a dark world, you know. But something reminded me, this Fran that you're seeing right now, something reminded me to a game called American McGee's Alice, right back in the 90s. It's this girl that has almost the same tragedy where her parents are burned in her house and she manages to escape. She gets all crazy and she gets into a mental hospital. Now, we have this reference, and then I suddenly started comparing one game with the other, and that's when my mind started blowing, literally. And here are some things. Most of the animals that appear on Fran Bow are actually animal references to Alice, either Wonderland or American McGee's Alice, doesn't matter. But it's Alice in Wonderland. The Dodo Bird is one of the birds that actually appear on the game of Fran Bow, just as a skeleton. And then it comes a diddly worm, the black worm that has like a skull or a death face on it. But that's a Dodo Bird. And that's pretty interesting how they make that reference. There's also an elk, a deer, a frog, a fox, a rabbit. I mean, there are rabbits all the place. And I believe that it word might be like a reference to the Mad Hatter. All of this because there is a point where we are on a flying machine that it word creates, and there is like a surprise party for Fran because it's her birthday, but it basically represents the tea party from the Mad Hatter. So I said, okay, yeah, well, there are certain coincidences, but what goes directly to American McGee's Alice game? Later on, there was a sequel called Alice Madness Returns, and the Alice Madness Returns had a doctor, a psychiatrist, called Dr. Boomby, and that's a guy who takes care of Alice's mental health. And this is where it starts getting weird. Here is Dr. Deern, okay? This is Dr. Deern from Fran Bow, Fran Bow's psychiatrist, and this is Dr. Boomby with Alice. So, in other words, if we just move a little and we say Dr. Boomby equals to Dr. Bambi, Bambi is an icon character from Disney, which is a deer. Alright? So, this being said, Dr. Deern equals to deer. That's a weird reference, right? I mean, it's just a name. You're just changing a few things, playing a little bit with the words, but it really doesn't tell us anything. Then something came into my mind, and there is a knife that Alice uses on the game as a primary weapon. And one of your most important items while you use them on Fran Bow is a knife. Another thing that I really want to go through is this, guys. I mean, well, before we go to that, I want you guys to check out who is behind Alice on the left side. There's a skull on a suit and a hat. Reminds me to Edward. Could it be? I'm not saying this is canon. These are just references, alright? These are not Easter eggs because you don't have to do anything in order to get those things. You just have to examine what you have to find this out. This was actually found from one of my friends called Sebastian. No, sorry, Christian. And thank you, bro. You were amazing there. And we can find out that Edward might be referenced to Alice Madness Returns. So that was also, a little bit weird. So let's go a little bit further to the track here, the trailer, sorry. Let me just put it, okay, here it is. Now, do you see what Alice has in the neck? A bow and a skull? That is weird, right? Because if we go to the picture here, there is a bow with a skull. And that's one of the items you have to use, like a lockpick, in order to open a door on the right in the beginning of the game. Now, there's another thing though, and I think this is one of the most impressive things I've seen, and I hope you guys get your mind blown. This picture, it's something very weird that happens on the game of Fran Bow. You see Fran, like older Fran, like on a throne and about to kill the cat, and you see like this red curtain behind. That drew my attention to, this. Does it look similar? Maybe. Who's that, guys? Who's that? Is that Fran Bow? Could it be a fan art? Could it be an alternate story? No! Fran Bow is the Queen of Hearts of Alice Madness Returns. Yes, she is the Queen of Hearts. Just see, she has a crown, the Queen of Hearts, like everything red, and on Alice Madness Returns. I'm not sure if this is actually on the on the original story, on the original novel from Alice in Wonderland, but there is a place called Queensland where the Queen of Hearts lives, and there is a chessboard where the Red Queen is, and the Night Queen, the White Knight, and the White King, different chess pieces over there. So, guess what we have here on the floor? It's a chessboard, guys. It can't be more obvious. We are here to understand the true identity of Fran Bow, and her true identity is the Queen of Hearts. Everything you play in the game gives you a reference to Alice. Alice in Wonderland, Alice Madness Returns, American McGee's Alice, the game, the story, everything goes to that moment. How do we know she's the Queen of Hearts too? Because right at the end, Mabuka, the Mother of Darkness, tells Fran Bow that she has been chosen to be the keeper of the key of the 5 dimensions. She's meant to be something greater, something bigger, something more important than she actually is right now. either what we're seeing right now is a glimpse on the future from Fran, or is Fran herself as the Queen of Hearts traveling to the past, warning to Fran on what she's going to become and what she's gonna be. This cold, soulless girl that is about to kill her best friend. Yes, the cat becomes a traitor according to this alternate Fran Bow. That was mind-blowing, guys, and believe me, that is not the only thing. I mean, just look at her. And look at this Fran. I mean, really? Really? This is canon. Everything she goes through in the game to become the chosen one is canon. All the other references are only things that we have to see in the game to get to this point, to the point of her real identity. I don't know you guys, but I'm pretty amazed of what we just saw here. It is just amazing. The amount of reference that we have from the Alice game, from the Queen of Hearts to Fran Bow. Now there are a lot of stuff that we can relate to. The strips on her leggings actually belong to Alice Madness Returns leggings, and all these things that we have in the game that tells us the true identity of Fran Bow. Now, there's another thing here. The ending of Fran Bow is actually something I may doubt about, because I found a weird interview in a webpage called Talon 4. This is an interview in Spanish. And basically it's with Natalia Figueroa, which is the creator of the game. And let me make just a small translation here for you guys. Where it says, the question number 4. How long will we take to actually complete Fran Bow game for the first time? Are there gonna be alternate endings? Natalia actually said that's very hard and very complicated to say. On the alpha demo, which I already played, there is people that have taken about an hour or so to actually complete all the game and see all the details, or they will get lost in the puzzle. But there is people that have went through the game in about 20 minutes, so that will be the minimum time that you get to complete the game. Now, here's the thing. According to the endings that we have on the game, it will have several endings. The initial story was actually meant to have one ending, but because we added new characters, you will be able to choose how to act and which answers to make a choice in order to get to a point that you can discover even 3 different endings according if you're good or bad. This is very different to the demo version, and the Fran Bow complete version are different acts or decisions will bring consequences. So guys, this is homework. You guys have to try to pull out the other 2 alternate endings. Again, I'm not sure how much we can trust on this webpage, but I believe this is a very serious webpage, because right at the end we can also find out that Natalia Figueroa talks about a game that they were giving on Christmas. I'm not sure if this is this been pulled out, I guess. Yeah, it's been pulled out, but she was actually giving a special game on Christmas, but I guess it's not here anymore. Okay. So, guys, what do you think about this? Do you actually think that this might be true? I mean, I don't find any other logical explanation to it, even though Alice Madness Returns is actually brought on the 1870s, right on London, where she actually starts having all her issues and all stuff like that. Alice, American McGee's Alice story is developed on the 1870s, while Fran Bow is in the 1940s. But hey, that's the point. If we actually read about Leon Castillo's diary, if we found out that there are different dimensions, and the time is just a matter of perception, this could mean that eventually Alice finds on the world of Fran Bow, in this case, the Queen of Hearts, and they interact on the game itself. Now, these are completely different creators, different developers. They have nothing to do one with the other, but this might be the secret message and the secret story that we've been trying to look on Fran Bow. It is a fact that everything that Fran Bow is real. It is a fact that this may be a cult that is trying to make experiments based on some sort of hellish rituals or whatever the hell they're doing to experiment on kids' minds. And it is also a fact that the pineal gland is being studied by this Oswald Asylum, and the pineal gland will open our third eye in order to gain access to these dimensions. So that is a fact. It's a fact that everything you see is real. 5 dimensions, I already explained them. So, I'm so excited about this. I've been trying to, tell everyone this theory I had like about 4-5 days ago, and reviewing everything we have here. I believe that might be the closest thing we have on internet. So guys, it didn't took long. It just took about 30 minutes, no more. Oh yeah, I was forgetting one of the most important things that tells us this is the newborn of a character, which is a Queen of Hearts. This is the killing clue. Fran Bow has a last name that is Dagenhart. If you look on Dutch, a translation of a Dagenhart, Dagen is like dawn, like a new day, and heart, H-A-R-T, is actually the heart. So if we translate it, is Dagenhart is day of heart, dawn, heart, which may as well may taken as a new day, or as the origin of the heart. So if we're talking about of origin and heart, this is the origin of the Queen of Hearts. That's it. I close my case. Guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you had an amazing time discovering this with me, and I thank you all for your support. Please subscribe so I can actually pull out more of this stuff. Let me know which games you want me to analyze, because I think I may have the capacities of doing this. But hey, it's true, we all can do it. So if I did it, you can do it. Anybody can do it. It's just matter of time. It's just matter of patience, of loving what you do, and that's one of the most important things. So I wanted to thank you all guys for being here on the live stream or watching the video. Please subscribe, like, comment, so I know what you guys think. Is this true? Do you guys think it's the most accurate thing we could actually go through, or I'm just tripping like hell? But hey guys, just remember that we all can have a lot of fun with these kind of games. This is a new generation of games. We had it of NAV, and matpat did a great job with all the other theorists that were around. So this is a tribute for you, matpat, if you're seeing it. But hey, that is just a theory, a game theory. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to watch matpat's channels, GT Live game theorists and film theorists. He has amazing stuff there. So thank you very much, guys. Humbly, I tell you, this was very exciting. I was very nervous, but I hope you guys enjoyed. See you around with more gameplays, more stuff. I'm gonna try to bring interviews. This is 2016. Let's innovate. Let's grow together. You want a shout out? Let me know. Send me an email or send me a private message or whatever you need just to make a shout out of your channel. You don't need to do anything at all. That is the main reason I made this channel, for gameplays and shout outs. And if you want to talk about amazing books or amazing puzzles or amazing games or music, doesn't matter, this is a place. Thank you very much, guys, and see you later.